as long as I can remember, I read. My parents read to me, my maternal grandmother always read, and I just kept reading.
I read because I like to learn more things.
I read an interesting mix of fiction and historical fiction and murder mysteries and memoirs.
I read to learn.
I read because I want to meet new people from the past, present, and future.
I read because it allows me to live in another world.
I read for cultural literacy.
I read for fun.
And I read for information. I want to become a brighter person and know more about the world.
When I started at Bookmarks, we already had the beginnings of an Authors in Schools program. We were doing author events and we had our festival. And with my background and love for getting into the classroom, we began to work very carefully to expand the Authors in Schools programs.
Because that's a good way to learn sometimes, not just always from teachers and parents. You learn from each other as well. I love coming to the schools and reading with the kids because they are at that age just the innocence, so they're free to say what it is that they want. And you get to learn a lot from them. They're able to give back a lot at that age.
Oftentimes kids who live in poverty only have access to books through their school libraries. So, increasing the access to books and to authors, we think will encourage the kids, hopefully, to want to learn more, to want to read and write more, and just grow.
The school system, obviously we have the kids captive for several hours a day, and we have wonderful media centers that have collections, and we don't have enough money to fully buy all the books that we really need to keep the kids excited.
And really started to realize that that's how we could help, is to provide books that are diverse and interesting and culturally sound.
So Book Build is a 3-year, $450,000 initiative to put about 25,000 new books into the Winston-Salem Forsyth County Schools. It averages out to a little over 300 books per school for the 80 different schools.
300 books is a lot, so Bookmarks has hired people to process, catalog. When these books arrive in the schools, they are already ready to be shelved. They're in the system, they're ready to go. In some cases, we have students that have already placed holds on them, so they're waiting for the book to arrive.
What intrigued me was Bookmarks was interested in trying to build libraries in the school systems in Forsyth County. And I thought, what a better way for the Mebane Foundation to help out. I mean, I think titles need to be relevant to kids. And I think hopefully through this Book Build program and Mebane's help, we can make that happen in the schools in Forsyth County.
Well, as a principal of a very diverse school, and diversity in every sense of the imagination in several different categories, it's so important for the kids to see people who look like them in books and portrayed in books. I want books and text that feature characters that are just like our kids.
As a writer, I control my world, right? I say who walks in and out of my pages. And I wanted a book with a character that looked like the students in my class.
So one of the major components of our programming at Bookmarks is our Authors in Schools program. Each Book Build school will also receive an author visit.
To me, it is an honor to step out on the stage and get to talk to young kids and talk about reading, talk about writing, but really more just sort of hopefully identify with them and get to know them a little bit better.
Good look. All right, how many of you have read or watched Divergent?
And there's nothing more exciting to students of all ages, elementary, middle, and high, than to see a real live author come and talk about the process of writing and the process of publishing and the excitement that they can communicate to students about that creative process and why it's so important.
This project's important first and foremost because it gives kids a chance to become readers. They may not think of themselves as readers, and all of a sudden they're reading a book about a sports star and they're like, I'm a reader too. So it's really important for that reason. The statistics show that over and over again, the schools that receive a new librarian and the more opportunities and resources for print material, the more likely they are to do better on tests, the more likely they are to do better in life.
By having Bookmarks do this kind of blitz deposit of new books, it definitely enhances what the school can do, and the volume of it, the fact that it's $5,000 worth of new books at one time is what's very impressive. It's just like Christmas, and it tells the kids that the community loves them, and the community supports reading, and the community wants to grow lifelong learners. And by it touching every single school over the next 3 years, it's just going to make a huge difference as a community and the city of the arts, which Winston-Salem is. Literacy is a big part of that.